She walks in like she owns the room. Every guy watches her. She speaks with power, she flirts without fear. She makes men nervous and enjoys it. She's what most would call high value, confident, in control. But what if I told you that women like her, the ones who seem untouchable, are actually the easiest to break? If you understand the psychology behind the mask, today we're going deep into the Stoic truth behind these women and why the man who has mastered himself can easily master her. Part 1. Confidence isn't always what it seems. Let's get this straight. There's a difference between authentic confidence and performed confidence. Most women who appear confident in public, loud, dominant, always in control, are often overcompensating for something deeper: insecurity, trauma, fear of true intimacy. They build a strong shell because it gives them power. It gives them protection. But here's the truth. That shell, it only works on men who still seek approval, men who fear rejection, men who confuse validation with value. But when a Stoic man walks in, calm, collected, clear in who he is, he doesn't flinch at her performance. He sees through it. And that rattles her, because for the first time, she's not the one in control. The hidden softness of powerful women. Here's what nobody tells you. The more in control a woman appears, the more she craves a man who can make her feel out of control, in a safe way. I'm not talking about chaos. I'm talking about a man who can lead her out of her masculine energy and back into her natural feminine softness. And guess what? That doesn't happen with words. It doesn't happen with compliments. It happens through presence. The Stoic man isn't moved by her games. He doesn't try to impress her. He doesn't rush to please. And in that stillness, she feels something terrifying and irresistible. She can't control him. And where she loses control, she submits. Part 3. Testing is her way of saying, help me feel safe. A confident woman will test you, harder than any other type. She'll challenge your logic. She'll play with your ego. She'll question your authority. Why? Because she wants to see if you'll break. She's not doing it because she hates you. She's doing it because she's afraid. Afraid that you're like the rest. Afraid that behind the masculine mask, you're just another weak man craving her attention. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Epictetus, so she'll push. She'll provoke. But when you stay calm, when you respond with grounded stillness, not emotional chaos, she starts to unravel because you've proven something no man before you ever has. You're not afraid of losing her. You're rooted in yourself. And that, my friend, is the beginning of her surrender. Part 4. Her ego is the only thing between you and her submission. A woman's ego is often her shield, especially confident women. They've built careers, social power, emotional independence. They tell themselves they don't need a man. But in private, they crave one who can dismantle their ego gently, without violence, without demand. And that's where Stoicism wins, because the Stoic man doesn't attack. He doesn't try to break her. He lets her ego collapse under the weight of his presence. He doesn't respond to disrespect. He doesn't argue about who's right. He simply says, I'm not here to fight, I'm here to lead. And when her ego realizes it can't win, it does something it's never done before. It lets go. Part 5. Women who appear strong secretly want to rest. The world demands so much from women today. Be a boss. Be beautiful. Be emotionally intelligent. Be independent. And guess what? The confident ones are usually exhausted. They're tired of being in control, tired of holding space for everyone, tired of leading, performing, and pretending. They just don't know how to let go, because every time they did, they were hurt. But the man who leads with clarity, strength, and stoic compassion, he gives her permission to rest. He who conquers others is strong. He who conquers himself is mighty. Lao Tzu and the Stoics would agree. The confident woman doesn't need more praise. She needs masculine leadership that doesn't buckle under pressure. And when she senses that in you, her body relaxes, her voice softens, her guard drops, and what looked like power before becomes pure, surrendered femininity. Part C, confidence without emotional control is fragile. Here's a cold truth. Most confident women are emotionally chaotic. They've learned to win games, dominate conversations, lead teams, but they've never learned to regulate their own emotional world. And that's why they fall for Stoic men, because you're not playing their game. You're playing the long game with your emotions, your time, your attention. You see through their emotional storms. You don't react. You witness. You don't chase. You attract. You don't prove. You lead. And that frustrates them at first. But eventually, it disarms them, because emotional chaos can't live in the presence of emotional mastery. Part 7. Why she submits fast. If you stay stoic, this is the part most men never get to experience. Once a confident woman trusts you, once she realizes you won't break under her pressure, once she sees that she can't shake you, she stops performing, she stops trying to be strong, she stops leading, she stops fighting you, and she becomes something rare, receptive, open, loyal, surrendered. She doesn't want to control you. She wants to be able to trust you enough not to have to. That's the paradox. The stronger the woman seems on the outside, the more desperately she wants to feel safe enough to let someone else lead, but only if that man is unshakable. Final message. Your calm is her undoing. So here's the truth, brother. Confident women aren't harder to get, they're just harder to fake it with. They don't fall for charm, they don't care about looks, they fall for mastery. Self-mastery, emotional control, spiritual calm, stoic leadership. The world taught her to lead, but you give her permission to follow, not because she's weak, but because you're stronger. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius let her test you, let her challenge you, let her try to dominate you. Your silence will speak louder than her words. Your groundedness will shake her confidence, and your stillness will invite her surrender. Let's recap the Stoic truths behind confident women. Their confidence is often armor. They secretly crave emotional leadership. They test to feel safe. Their ego can't win against presence. They're tired of performing and want to rest. Their chaos collapses in front of calm. Once they trust you, they submit completely. Now let me ask you, which of these truths hit you hardest? Have you been chasing the mask or reaching for the soul underneath? Drop your answer in the comments. Like the video if you found value. Subscribe to the Stoic Guide, where philosophy meets power. And if you're ready for more, check the description below. Join the inner circle. Get weekly breakdowns on female psychology, Stoic tactics, and emotional mastery. No games, no gimmicks, just clarity and control. Until next time, stay grounded, stay dangerous, and most of all, stay stoic.